Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Star Ocean. Last time we went through very long amounts of plot dumping to establish the world. This time we are going to take a look at our newly formed party and find out that I actually didn't change anything as far as the talents goes. I tried, I think, about 4 or 5 times, and what I would get would be worse and worse, and eventually Iria started with nothing as far as talents go, because nothing is guaranteed with her. Most of the other characters have something that's guaranteed. Any of the mages in the game are guaranteed to get Blessing of Mana, and actually the guide I used said that Iria was as well, but none of the other fighters are, and she is a fighter, so yeah, I'm assuming it's a typo. She doesn't get it. You know, as far as Radix, he gets originality always. That's a guarantee with him. Most other characters get something that are always, but Iria does not. So yeah, the last time I did it, she got nothing, so I just went back to the one that I showed you the first time. Specifically important in this one is she has something new that no one else has, and that sense of taste. Cooking is an interesting ability in this game, which I'm not a big fan of, though there are definitely some uses for, or at least not from what I remember. It's been a while since I've done it. I may be 15 hours forward in my test run, but that doesn't mean I've done any item creation yet. Roak's originality is the big one with him. That's not required. It's something that he doesn't always get, so I did want to get that. He's got design sense for art, rhythm for creating music. Again, not particularly important. He'll always have Blessing of Mana, which is used for alchemy, and I think it's just associated with the mages. So I believe I said last time that you can actually develop a lot of these abilities by using the types of item creation, and eventually you can, if you get lucky enough, learn those things. That is definitely true. Millie can learn originality, though that I think helps with smithing, making new weapons, and customizing, which again makes new weapons, and she doesn't need to do either of those things, because one, if I want to smith, I can use Radix because he'll always have it, and two, you can't customize a special weapon for her because she's a mage. Anyway, that being said, why is Radix such a, or Ronixus? I call him Ronix because I'm lazy. I'm going to shorten his name, because I'll always forget to call him Ronixus. Anyway, the reason why he's a higher level? Because he's the captain. That's probably got something to do with it. Anyway, he is a mage himself. He's actually a bow user as well, which is kind of different. He's a bow user and a mage, which is probably a good combination for him, because as a a weaker defense type character, he can hit from the back row, both physical and with magic. And he's got some spells here, and I'm sure we'll get to use them somewhat shortly. Though it is kind of weird to get a character who's a completely different level than you guys and put him in your party, and yeah, he's just way over level. Though that's happened before in other games. Lunar comes to mind specifically. What else? I'm sure there are other games where you get a highly powered character to come along with you for a little area. You get to experience how powerful he is, and then of course he or she leaves, and you have to realize, oh crap, I gotta get back to that point. Anyway, that being said, let's move on here. Now, if you remember last time, we were going through realizing that there's something we can do with Planet Styx, or whatever they called it, Planet Stream, which, if you think about it, the river Styx in Greek mythology is the river that leads to the underworld, to Hades' domain, and so the fact that it is the river Styx and they called it Planet Stream, obviously just a translation mix-up, kind of like what they did with Vix's name in Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy III, if I recall correctly. Yeah, they named Biggs Vix in those games for whatever reason. They just didn't get the Star Wars reference with Biggs and Wedge, I guess. Who knows? Anyway, we can take off soon. Seal the entrance hatch. We don't want any more people following us. Thanks to the computer. What's a computer? helps us out in various ways. Pretty much it does everything for us. Actually, I was just, come to think of it, I was not reading a story, but watching a story, I think it was on D-News, that was talking about the idea of computers, or robots specifically, taking over all of our jobs. And how is that, if it's a good thing or if it's a bad thing. And, well, if we can get to the point, here's my take on it, if we can get to the point that the Star Trek universe is at, where there's enough, you know, technology around to provide everyone with houses, and there's replicators so no one's going hungry, and you don't actually have to work unless, you know, you want to do something with your life. You know, they've basically got to a point where they've demolished capitalism, and there's no way we can get rid of, you know, our current system. Everyone's just going to lose jobs from moving forward as they have over the last number of years, and eventually we'll get to the point where, you know, no one has a job. But unless we get rid of capitalism, it's not going to work out the same way that it did for, say, the Star Trek universe, or the Star Trek universe. I'm not saying that it actually happened. I'm just saying, as a conceptual idea, it is awesome to think about. I'd love to be able to wake up in the morning. I don't have to go to work today. I can sleep. Perfect. Anyway, no doubt about it, we'll get a court-martial for this. Well, yeah, probably, but guess what? If something goes wrong, you won't have to worry about that. Can't turn back now because we haven't done anything yet. Yeah, you're pretty much screwed. I'm sorry. Oh, so you're not hesitant to go, you're just annoyed that... Yeah. Basically, I think the way that this kind of, like, her idea, her character kind of works out in this situation is she's been under Ronix's command for so long at this point that she's kind of adopted his idea of, you know, going out and doing what he feels is right, or what, in her case, what she feels is right, even if that would go against what she was before. And I have a feeling, although I don't think this is ever explained, but, or talked about, that before she met the captain, she would have been much more of a straight and narrow type. I just get that feeling. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. Maybe that's just me putting character traits into characters that I like. Who knows? Just what is Planet Stream? Well, we're useless, we don't know anything. Home to an extremely advanced civilization. We don't know anything about it. Yeah, we've already said that. A time gate. Yes, there's a time travel plot in this game. Yes, it's a time travel plot. Thing is, this one, as far as time travel plots go, it's actually not too bad. You know, it doesn't just go completely out on left wing. It's like, we're going to do this and apply these rules of logic, you know, this way and that way. No, it does it rather straight and narrow, and I appreciate it. It's nice to get a time travel plot that's not just confusing to all end, you know, to no end. It just, But this one, we're going to go to Roak's past. In fact, we're going to go 300 years in Roak's past, specifically so that we can find the virus that was there. It's been ordered off limits, of course, so we're not supposed to go here, but because we feel like it, we're going to do it anyway, and because if we didn't, the plot would end right now. Or it would just become a completely different plot. That would have worked. Though I do like what they did with a lot of the aspects of the plot in this game. It's not, you know, ideal, it's not anything, you know, outstanding. A living gate. The guardian of the time gate. The guardian? Could make any number of references there with the guardian, but I'll just, I'll let you guys pick whatever reference you want to throw in there. Love the music here. just creepy to no end. Skin crawls, man. Accepts us, so the gate is alive. Now, anyone who's played till the end of time knows exactly what that is. Of course, it does something different in this game, but yeah. I can't remember if that does something in Second Story. It's been a long time since I played Star Ocean Second Story. I want to go to Roak as it existed 300 years in the past. Guardian of Time. Wait a minute. Balthazar? Is that you? No, that's a different game for a much later date. Don't have any plans on doing Chrono Trigger anytime soon, though I do want to definitely do it. It's my favorite game, so... I just want to do something different with it, something that... try to find something different to do with that game. We'll see. We'll see. True, we are at the end of our resources. Anyway, throw away your weapons and communicators. You must not take them with you into the past. So yeah, we're gonna go into the past weaponless. Not so great. You know, you would think that he was actually referring more to, you know, Ronix and Iria more than anyone else, but actually, we all get stripped. That proves we're justified in doing this. No! No, definitely not. It does not prove that. It just proves that someone is willing to accept it. Doesn't mean you're justified in it. Anyway, pop! Pop! Hmm? Oh. She, like, tripped on the stairs there. Wonder what that did. Huh. Eh. I'm sure it's, fine. Don't worry, Dorn. We're on the case. We'll get this shit done. Waking up on a beach. You'd think you'd, like, walk through the gate and, you know, walk right onto the other side, but nope. We get to do the blackout thing here. It's Iria. What? Where's everybody else? Well, that sucks. Might be somewhere around here. Yeah. Yeah. So there's also the possibility that we're separated by a great distance. I'll tell you right now, the first half of the game, let's go find the friends. No treasure chest over there this time. Don't believe there's anything up here either, though I will check briefly. Nope. But yeah, so our weapons have been removed. We have nothing there. Doesn't matter even if you unequipped your weapons, which I did. Yeah, so what I actually did, as you can notice here, my gear is a little bit different, is I knew I was going to lose some characters, and actually I did this when we lost Dorn as well. I removed all of his equipment as well, Dorn's, and then I got my other characters, Ronix and Iria. They had some gear, and I removed the Brigandine from Ronix, and the leather boots, which are way better than what we normally have at this point. And this is way better too. She came equipped with the Kung Fu Gi. So yeah, it's 20, 24. It's better. She can actually use this one, so that's good. I got the robe off of Millie, who I also stripped of all her gear, which beats out the leather armor that he came equipped with standard. Stupid. Wood shield has 50% evade, which means he has an awesome amount of evade compared to Iria, who has like 16. The sandals, I think I pulled those off of Millie. I pulled them off of somebody anyway. Yeah, normally what we have are these boots here, which suck. And the sandals have more evade. I figure I might as well stack up the evade on him so that he avoids damage. I'll be controlling him anyway, so it makes sense to, keep him. He'll be in the mix all the time. Iria, not as much. The accessory still sucks, so it doesn't really matter. But anyway, so we've lost our weapons at this point. She has no other gear. She cannot equip a shield, unfortunately, even though I have an extra one. Yeah, she came equipped with the boots, I think, the normal ones. But yeah, so we've lost that. We've lost our higher level character, which we won't get back until much later. So yeah, now you kind of see why he was level 20 when the rest of us were not. Not that we'll be getting him back by the time we reach level 20. Oh no. We will be a little higher than that by the time we get Ronix back. So anyway, it'll be a little while. It's not really spoiling anything that we don't already know. She's already mentioned that we might be separated by a very large distance, and it's either we're going to find them in the next town or we're not. And we're not. Anyway, these clothes. Yes, Iria, although we can't really see her clothes. Not helping. As you can see, it's become daylight in the meantime. But yeah, so basically, this is the first time we really get a choice to affect approval ratings. Now, approval ratings leads me into something I've been kind of dreading. Endings. Okay, Star Ocean games don't know how to do multiple endings. Chrono Trigger did multiple endings right. Chrono Cross did multiple endings right. Star Ocean games have never done multiple endings right, because in Star Ocean Second Story, as far as what I've read, there are over 80 different endings. Now, that doesn't mean that any of those 80 are particularly interesting or different. They probably, and like I said, I haven't looked this up, they probably change 1 or 2 lines of dialogue, or this character shows up instead of that character. Little minor things like that. And so as far as the approval rating goes, it has one more effect I'll talk about in a moment, but I'm not going to try and get multiple endings. I'm not going to show multiple endings. I'm not going to try and get a specific ending. I don't know anything about the additional endings or anything like that. Most of my choices are going to be to raise approval rating with characters regardless of, who it is. I'm just going to try and raise them up because that affects the other aspect. The other aspect is called Anger Explosion. And what happens with Anger Explosion is if a character dies in battle and a second character, say Radix, dies in battle and Iria has a high approval rating for him, her sprite will turn red, her color palette on her skin or whatever, and she will go into like a berserk-like mode and do 2 to 4 times damage from different sources I've read. And yeah, she'll become like incensed and she'll do lots of damage, and that can actually save your life. There is a certain battle which requires a certain musical instrument, and anyone who's played this game knows who I'm talking about, who can beat the crap out of you. And if you lose a character, sometimes an Anger Explosion can be the only thing that keeps you alive for the rest of the battle long enough for, a healer to revive the dead character. So, that being said, I'm going to build up approval ratings when possible, but I'm not going to worry too much about any particular items, or not items, sorry, particular endings or relationships or whatever. Anyway, so this lowers it. This raises it between those two, so let's just choose this one. It really doesn't matter. You have to go look for clothes for her regardless, so. Anyway. Yeah, he probably is. And of course, we share a laugh at that. That's fun. Anyway, go find me some clothes, please. And she goes and hides behind the post. Anyway, that's all the time I have for this episode of Let's Play Star Ocean. Next time, we will do the very heroic task of finding clothes, and then continuing on with our quest. Anyway, that's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.